It's me, Vera, here to remind you that this is an adult podcast. That means we're going to deal with tough topics. Take a break if you need it, and be kind to yourself, because we sure won't be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cracked Crown, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition podcast. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, today joined by the one, the only, the majestic, the beautiful, the British, the nerdy, Mr. Josh, a.k.a. Shaun. What's up, my dude?
Wow, thank you.
You're the only one here, so you get all the attention.
Ooh, I'm feeling very special. Yeah, I'm on my lonesome, which is a shame, but...
People be busy.
We got NPCs, we got Mia.
We got Mia, and of course we've got conversation to have, and there's parts of Shaun that are always worth exploring, shall we say. So
absolutely,
we're going to jump right into this, but before we do, a big thank you to everybody who listens. If you do, wherever you're listening, drop us a review. Even if you don't have to write anything, just drop 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever the app takes. Goes a long way to helping the show out. And if you love the show so much and everything else we do, and you just want to go above and beyond, you can do so over at patreon.com/podbynight, where you can jump in, support the show, allow us to keep doing cool shit, and keep telling you really fun, mature, horrifying stories.
Sexy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, mature, right? That was like
that counts as mature.
That was the political way of saying
sexy
horny and all the time. Yeah, sexy all the time.
Well, I mean, what's the point in playing D&D if it isn't for flirting with your friends?
Right. Well, that's why I started playing D&D. That's just the whole reason.
Yeah.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and set the scene, rein things in, and see what Shaun is currently up to. And it's the bustling streets of Chicago as the cars are roaring by, pedestrians bumping, pushing past each other. And for Shaun, as you're moving through the crowded streets of Chicago, up ahead, maybe about 5-10 feet, you can see Robert walking with purpose and heading with Duke, or rather Max, all heading to the Chantry. However, as always, you linger a little further back. Obviously, the privacy, but also Mia's along for the ride this time around, and she's walking next to you. And it's been some time since the two of you have had any time to speak. And maybe it takes a minute too, because as you're walking through and moving through this crowd of people, being a full-blood kindred, something you don't often bump into is the pungent smell of humanity. Sure, as a thin blood, you certainly could smell them. You definitely understood why Vitae is so necessary and how sating it is. With your enhanced senses, a more full-blooded feature set as a full clan, you can really smell just the littlest hints of different notes that I imagine for Shaun are pretty fucking new. The smell of alcohol on somebody who's not even drunk, you just can smell it off their blood. They had a drink a couple hours ago. Or the sweat from the guy across the street 3 buildings down as he's running out of a nearby local store, clearly late for something as he's sprinting by. But all of those things, while they may be consuming, are quickly, instantly muted, much like for ourselves as a listener, when Mia's elbow gently jabs into yours. She's looking over to you and she's like, everything good?
Oh, yeah, I was just off with the fairies.
She kind of gives you a nod and a smile and keeps walking for a bit. There's maybe a few beats of silence before she continues. You're just usually just more talkative than this.
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of... I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to think about, right? Vera almost died. I don't know.
She nods.
I mean, Vera died. Is that what we're going with?
I think so, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. But she spoke to you, right?
She shrugs her shoulders a bit. But what about with you? There's a lot going on with you, Shaun. I mean, we haven't had a chance to get together since we left Gary, and Gary was chaos on the way out. Hell, Gary was chaos the whole time. Are you okay?
I think I am. Actually, like I'm not perfect. been stressful.
She's walking forward and her head's just a little tilted, turned to you, and she's just side-eyeing you while you're talking.
It is weird. It has been new and different, but I don't know. Everyone seems to be afraid of all the things that are happening, frustrated. I'm antsy. I'm antsy to take advantage of any of these things, you know?
You see her smile just a little bit, and she nods. Yeah, I definitely get that. But that smile kind of twinkles away after a few moments, and she says, "Why do you think everybody else is so worried or nervous, and you're not?"
They've wanted this for a lot longer than I have, you know? I fell into this. This is an accident for me. This is very intentional for them. And people are fucking with it, which I get. I'm with it. I'm ready to take the head off of whoever's trying to snipe Max.
She nods, but keeps walking and looking straight, kind of like letting the silence linger to see if you feel it with continued talk.
I don't know, I guess not a lot of things have gone right for them since they left New York. And there's not been a lot of opportunities to kind of fight back.
Yeah. I mean, New York went to hell, and your coterie was kind of at the center of it. Not in a bad way, obviously. I don't mean it like that. Please don't think I meant it like that.
Not Vera. You can say we fucked it.
she laughs. And then Gary was just Gary. I don't know. I worry a little bit. That's all. About, obviously, you, but also about Vera. She has a stick up her ass, I guess. I don't know what the right word is here for it. She smiles. She has a vengeance for a system, and she's taking it out on a city. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I get it. She before this whole coterie thing, she was a scourge, but you know, the New York thing was kind of insane. I get it. But the Gary thing, and then Chicago, like, at what point does she realize this is kindred life to a degree? Everybody's trying to slit each other's throat. Very few people are trying to settle.
Well,
do you worry she's going to go too far with this?
I've thought about it. She feels wronged.
She nods. She has every right to. She was stabbed.
She did. Well, yeah, but she got stabbed, but also every time she's come up against someone, she's had to fight for what's hers. So I don't blame it.
Maybe you know, because I'm not in the circle as much. But what's her end goal? Where's the finish line? When does she stop?
I was kind of hoping she'd just burn it out of her system and kill a few kindred, take some vengeance.
She laughs and she shakes her head. I forget you were thin blood for a while. That shit doesn't burn out, Shaun. You have to feel it, even when you just get hungrier. Now that you're not a daywalker, the thing that is always ready to just take over the beast, some call it, obviously. I don't know if that's the right term for it. I'm still not even sure what it is. All I know is it's there, and it doesn't go away. That feeling doesn't go away. The more you feed it, the worse it gets. Listen, Vera can walk her own path. I just don't want her to drag you down with it. And when I ask you, how is everything? I want to know how everything is, including everything up here. And she just kind of points to her head. I know what you went through, you idiot. And she like shoves you playfully. I also know what that fucking means. And it's not clean. I watched Father do it. It's not clean. You're acting like you're fine, but even those who walk away mostly fine have something. So are you okay? Is everything okay?
I am dealing with it. I'm not going to say I like it, but...
Is it him?
Sounds like him.
And she just kind of looks to you with a not like a serious look, but almost like a inquisitive, just like curiosity. Like she doesn't even mean it with like much intent. She's like, is it him?
Sounds like him. I'm not so sure.
She nods. That was my concern. And she actually stops and like grabs you by the wrist and stops you as the crowd kind of like immediately starts mumbling at you. Get the fuck out. What the fuck are you doing? Get out of the way. And people start moving around you, and she pulls you off to the side, away out of the people. The other two kind of walk a bit. They don't notice you. And she's not trying to like hide you away from them. She's just like, she pulls you. She's like, just look at me and promise me, whatever this thing is, if it ever starts influencing you, you let me know. Duke doesn't have the capability to help you like I can. Not yet. He has potential, but only one of us in this circle knows blood magics. And only one of us has any idea of what Father made a deal with. I don't know names. I don't know anything more than where he got that. And she points to what was around the neck. She kind of just makes a gestures. So maybe I can help if it starts causing problems, if that's what's happening. But if you're concerned it's not him, then we're in territory that even I'm slightly unfamiliar with. I don't deal with that shit.
Then it's a voice in my head, Mia. Of course it's trying to influence me. Like, I hear him goading me when I'm not doing exactly the right kind of thing. He took over and burned out Vera's poison. I'm not a stranger to being manipulated and told what to do and having my mind hijacked. I don't think that this is a problem yet. So if there is something we can learn, I'm going to learn it. And if the Chantry is one of the places we can do that, then that's great. But I am dealing with it.
And she truly just looks you in the eyes the entire time you say is the very serious look. And when you say that, again, another beat or two passes, and she just like kind of clenches her jaw and nods, and she moves back into moving with the crowd. You can see Max and Robert a little bit further ahead, and she continues to talk. Well, you being able to manipulate a body makes sense. That's what Tzimisce do. The burning part is something Father couldn't do until after.
So he could do it.
She nods. He didn't find much value in that aspect of the deal. I only saw him do it a couple times, and in doing so, he kind of was forced to either kill me or explain it to me, and I was far too valuable for him to kill at the time. So I know I wouldn't call him a Bali, but I know he dealt with the demon, and I know that's where he got his shawl, or not his shawl, whatever the fuck it was called, the cord. And whatever that also entailed meant he could manipulate fire to an extent, but again, he didn't find value in it.
Okay, well, at least it's not entirely unprecedented.
He told me he found this cord around his neck at the base of a dead tree. I don't know anything else other than that.
That's not very helpful, I'll be honest. Like, there's probably quite a lot of dead trees.
She smiles, which is why I'm saying try not to fuck with this thing too much. We don't know anything about it. I get it. There's going to be aspects of it that you can't. It's going to, whatever it is. But just, if it's like any other act of diablerie, ideally the voice will fade over time.
Cool. Well, that sounds good to me. And if I get to burn a motherfucker in the meantime, bonus.
I forgot to ask. Did you make a deal?
There was a deal involved.
She closes her eyes. Yeah, all right, that voice isn't going to go anywhere.
Oh.
And she just kind of like shakes her head a little bit. Listen to me. I'm telling you this because I don't want to. Vera is making me look out. I'm supposed to watch you and report back to her.
I thought you might.
I worry. I'm with her. I worry about you because of whatever that voice is, but I don't know, Shaun. I fucking seen you do and stand up to things I thought would kill you, so maybe call me an idiot, but I think you can handle it. I just don't want you to be stupid about it. Listen, I'm supposed to go to Vera, so come to me first. She laughs as you laugh, and she shakes her head. If she finds out I told you this, I could... Listen, I think she could kill me. And she looks over to you with a half grin. I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm not supposed to tell you. So don't tell her I told you, please.
I won't tell her any of this.
She's worried about you.
If that's your job in her eyes, I'll keep you up to date. I trust Vera. You can tell her what you want. That's fine.
She nods.
But I'm glad you told me. Because, I mean, I'd like to think we're a lot closer than you and Vera.
She nods, like, immediately. Yeah.
You are mine. You know that, right? And I'm yours.
She like gives you like a almost like embarrassed giggle, and like she kind of half shoves you away. Don't be a fucking idiot right now, please. We're talking about your imminent demise due to a demon thing. And she like rolls her eyes.
I can do two things at once.
Listen, I just don't know if Vera is worried about you because she's worried about you, or if she's worried about you for her own self-interest. I think it's a bit of both, but I just don't know which one the majority is. And I worry about you for you. 100% for you.
No, I appreciate that. And I am really thankful for your help. And for everyone's, you know. I will let you know, and I won't do anything stupid. No more deals. I say that.
She actually looks at you, she goes, I literally was going to say when you were done babbling, if that whatever that thing comes back and asks to make a deal with you, just promise me no more deals. We're there. We're there. Same vibes.
Good. Yeah. Great. And you can tell Vera whatever you want.
I don't know. There's nothing to tell her right now. She seems to know that it's a demon. I don't know. I imagine Duke informed her.
Yeah, Duke's got some ideas about something about a cup. Don't know.
She like kind of like furrows her brow for a minute. And as she peeks up, she realizes Max and Robert have actually come to a dead stop, and they're actually looking over, waiting for her. And oh fuck, I gotta go. I don't know if you're going to be allowed in, but I gotta. And she like runs up ahead to the three of them. You see some. Does Shaun hang back, or does he actually go up and see what's going on?
Of course. Yeah, he'll go up and stand next to the rest of them.
Yep. As you kind of stand next to the rest of them, you actually catch the last words of whoever opened the door to this exceptionally plain-looking building that does not stand out amongst the row of buildings nearby. There's you just hear a male voice on the other side of the door just as it's closing. Yeah, just give me a second. And it clicks. Mia looks over to Max and Robert. Robert seems to almost give like a wry smile at this. And Max just looks like Max always does, kind of just grumpy about it, even though he's probably not very grumpy at all. After a few minutes pass, the door opens. Okay, yeah. Mia, you can come in. Robert, Deucible says he owes you. You can come in. And Max, you can come in. Who the hell are you? And she points to like Shaun. And Mia immediately like speaking on behalf of everybody. This is one of the coterie. He's not really. And she looks to Shaun. Do you know any Tremere other than me?
I did know one once.
Right.
But that was back in New York.
She nods. And then the individual at the door says, New York.
New York.
You can come in and stay in the lobby.
Ooh, privilege.
And Mia goes, lobby? What? And she starts following Max and Robert in as she steps through. And you step through. And as you step through, the door shuts, and you're actually just met with this kind of small, I guess you call it like a pawn shop, basically, a small little shop. And you're led to the behind a counter where somebody's just sitting there counting some bills. An older guy, probably in his 50s, completely bald with a thick mustache that he hasn't groomed in some time, and beads of sweat dripping down his temples as he's counting $5 bills. You walk by him. He doesn't even pay attention to you. He doesn't even seem to look up as the train of you walk past into what would be the employee room. But as you walk through that door and as you step through the threshold, you're actually just greeted with, seems to be like, I would say a living room, a den. It's got a couple of couches, a nice little old coffee table in the center with no books on it, but you would recognize it as the Tremere logo, just kind of like emblazoned on the center of it. And a few little smaller bookshelves that have some books kind of scattered across them. The individual who brought you back there just points at the couches. All right, you can just stay there. Don't touch anything that's not in this room. In fact, just don't leave the room. If you do, Mia is going to be held responsible, as well as the other 2 members of your coterie.
I would hate for that to happen.
Max looks to you, and I'm sure he says something like, yeah, watch yourself, kid, and starts walking out in the back and leaving you eventually entirely alone. There's no milling about. They walk through a door that leads out of the den into a hallway that you catch a glimpse of before it shuts, and you can hear the door lock instantly. And as you're left there, there's nobody here. It's just dead fucking quiet. Even the outside noise is completely muted entirely. What do we see Shaun do? Does he just get like comfortable?
He checks out a couple of the seats and to see how comfortable they are. He thumbs through some books.
These are the couches that are made to look better than they feel. You know those kinds that are like so fancy looking, but they're like stiff as fuck?
Yeah. Yep. He shuffles around them when he can't get comfortable. So, and he's just stuck in one room, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could go try to open the door.
He tries to go and open the door.
Yeah, absolutely. The which door? The one that came out where you came from back to the store, or the one that they went through to the hallway?
The one that they went through, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. You as you reach forward and open the door, as soon as you swing it open, you see it's just a maintenance closet. It's got a couple brooms, a mop in there, some cleaning supplies.
Fucking Tremere.
You look around. I mean, do you look for anything? Like, are you looking for
a secret lever, like a book that shifts?
Yeah. Is that what Shaun's doing? Is that what he's doing? He's like looking for a secret lever.
Pulling out all the books one by one.
Go ahead and make me a wits awareness check. Make me a secret lever check.
Secret lever check.
Suddenly, we're playing Pathfinder.
Yeah, this is suddenly Call of Cthulhu. One success.
Make sure you refresh your willpower, obviously, and then if you want a willpower, you may.
No.
You have 2 you can reroll. No. Okay. No secret lever. You probably pull a couple books down off the shelves, too, being like, is there any of these a secret lever? No, they're just books on the shelf. No buttons behind them whatsoever. But you do notice... just on the as you're like looking, maybe fingering through the door frame looking for like a trap or something, go ahead and make me a intelligence occult check.
Ooh, I have nothing in occult.
Oh, okay. You oohed like you actually had something.
No, but I did recently increase my intelligence. 2.
As you're actually looking through the door frame, what you actually it's difficult to know exactly because you just don't have the best roll for it, and you don't have blood magic, right?
I technically have blood sorcery, but it's closer to Kuldunuk sorcery.
Yeah, I imagine. So, as you're looking at the door frame, actually in the grain of the wood itself, the way the grain of the wood twists through it, it's actually, you can see an elongated rune that runs from the bottom to the top of the door frame all the way around on the inside of it. And you don't know what the rune is. You can simply pick it out because you've worked with Mia a bunch. You've seen her work with it. She's tried to teach you a few things that also represents that point in blood sorcery that you have. But you could tell that the door frame that leads into this maintenance closet, the door frame itself seems to have a rune etched into it. What it does, who fucking knows? But you just you do notice that with 2 successes. Is there a moment where you're like,
Yeah, there's a moment where I'm like, can I do something with this? Probably, but it might go wrong and I might piss off the owner of the house. So
there's a moment, right? So that we see a moment where Shaun, just for a beat, is like, can I do any of this shit? You sit there for a moment and you think, and as you're about to walk away, you hear a familiar voice, not in your head, but it sounds like it's right next to you. A father simply says, how bad do you want it and why? And if you look to your right where it sounds like it's coming, you actually just see him standing there, maybe a couple feet away from you. His arms are crossed and he's just looking at you with a curious look and a raised eyebrow. It doesn't look like he's judging you. He genuinely looks curious.
Oh, hello, Alice. You're through the mirror now, are you?
He does not. I laugh as a storyteller, but he stays stoic and lets the question linger.
I mean, the answer is I just, about like 5 minutes ago, promised not to do anything stupid. So,
and yet you're standing in front of the door and thinking, I kind of want to do something.
I mean, what would even get me? What would even get me? I'd be in a place where I don't even know where I'm going. And
he shrugs and he uncrosses his arms. He goes, that's what I'm asking you. Why? What's over there?
I bet they know about demons.
He nods and then he tilts his head. I bet you they know a lot more about demons than they let on.
Yeah, I bet they do. Cheeky buggers.
Oh, Tremere. All the same. Secret hoarders, power for themselves. Bunch of bullshit reasons and a bunch of bureaucracy to keep people away. Information that belongs to Kindred as a whole. Tremere aren't even fucking Kindred in the first place. Scum. Mage made abomination.
All right, calm down.
You see him like, there's not like an anger in his face, but there's just like a general distaste. Stolen power in the first place. He shrugs. That's all I'm trying to say. It was stolen power in the first place. I bet you could find some demon knowledge in there.
This one time, I'm going to wait for Mia and Duke to do it. Maybe if I ask nice enough, they'll let me in.
He just truly giggles at that. You are close to dating a Tremere and you think they're going to let you in? You should know better than that. You think me is telling you everything?
Maybe there's a +1 rule.
Oh my god, you are a useful fool, Shaun. He gestures to one of the open couches. Then take a seat, relax. Don't worry about whatever demon knowledge they're going to find. You truly think if they find anything, Duke, or rather Max and Robert are going to fucking tell you?
Max definitely would. Robert, I'm not so sure.
If it was on Vera's orders? Mia only told you because she felt bad.
Well, that's fine. Makes it easier.
What can a quick peek, 5 minutes in and out, do?
No.
Do you sit down? Where do you, as he gestures to the couch?
I lie down because he closes his eyes, puts his hands behind his head, tries not to fiddle with anything.
You hear him's footsteps walking closer patiently. It was strolling over to you. And as he gets next to you, he drops down to his knees and his face right up against your ear. And and there's just a moment where Shaun is probably just looking. We get a top-down shot of both of them. All he does is whisper, "No." And a puff of smoke emanates from his lips and lingers above you just for a bit. And you can smell that burning wood. But as you look over, he's gone.
I think Shaun actually does a double take and is like, is that him messing with me, or can I actually smell burning wood?
Would you like to make some roll for...
I would, yes.
Let me call... my gut says wits awareness, but like that doesn't feel right. Let me take a look here. I would give me a... Yeah, actually, I guess that does. Wits investigation, because you're properly like taking a minute. You're trying to bring yourself more conscious of the moment.
Nothing.
You still can smell you can still smell the lingering smell. regardless of whether you believe it or not, with that investigation, you haven't convinced yourself it's real or not, but you can certainly still smell it.
I have an excellent idea. Shaun can tell where fires are innately now.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can.
He will have to take a point of aggravated damage to do it. But like after a little bit of sitting around, and he feels like it's probably 10 minutes, but it's probably in reality about 2. He then reaches under his shirt and just scratches very gently at his burn mark on his chest and takes a point of aggravated, that's hunger, aggravated damage, and kind of feels through the mark that he's now got, and like feels the burning there kind of extend out into the surroundings.
And for you, as you feel that heat rise from that mark, and you maybe close your eyes, in that moment, you can just feel how terribly cold your actual physical existence is. The temperature around you is immediately dropped multiple degrees in your own personal senses, but your body itself, save this mark, is ice cold. As you close your eyes and extend those senses, you can begin to feel the eminent heat coming from different directions. Sure, you've got you can definitely feel lighter. Oh, to your left, outside, there's somebody lighting a cigarette. You can feel the heat now being transferred over to something. It's less intense, but you can feel it. You can almost feel that warmth. But to your right, down the hallway, where they all walked, you can feel the presence of multiple fires, all within, I'd say, about 100 to 200 or so feet. Smaller ones here and there, and then one relatively larger one that seems to try and almost overpower all the smaller ones, but you can feel them all.
Shaun's going to reach out, still lying on the sofa, but he's going to reach out and project his senses into that larger fire.
And what's the name of this power called? I forget.
That is called an sorcery.
Way of Fire.
Just the
base one.
The base one.
Cool. First, I need you to make me, as you're attempting to push your senses into the Tremere Chantry, essentially, directly so. I need you to make me a, let's go with Intelligence Blood Sorcery, please.
Okay. This is a special place, so I'm going to rouse check.
Yep. Hunger 2. It's all right, though. It's not bad at all.
Say Intelligence Blood Sorcery?
Yes, sir. Is there anything you could argue you could give you a bonus for?
I don't think so. Ooh. 5 successes.
Do you want to, you got 2 you could reroll with willpower. Do you want to?
This is quite important, so I should. Just so it doesn't come down on Mia. No bonuses, but...
All right, 5 successes is still a very, very phenomenal roll overall. So there's a moment as we watch Shaun close his eyes, and you want to push yourself into the larger fire overall is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's almost as though there's a weird repellent. It's hard to, it's like trying to push 2 magnets together of the same pole, where there's almost this barrier where you are, that's the best way Shaun could probably describe it in a physical sense. Your own perceptions being muddled, you get confused, topsy-turvy, turned upside down. You're not even sure where you are for a bit, but you hone your focus, and then you hear the whisper, no. When you hear no, that barrier seems to eviscerate, disappear, disintegrate. That resistance, that confusion, this disorientation all aligns, and you know exactly where you are. You're looking out from where that fire, that heat emanates. A small, little private library. You are a fireplace, the biggest fire in this whole place. And as you kind of like sense outward, you don't notice and you don't take in any figures, but you are certainly in the room of somebody with influence within the Chantry. Make me a wits awareness.
Okay. Ooh.
Messy critical.
Uh-oh.
So, while I had a list of things you could have seen, with a messy critical, I'm going to limit it to just one thing. Your eyes are entirely drawn to a plain black leather book. It sits on a table in front of a small, one very comfy looking like leather chair. And though you kind of come out, though your senses are coming from the fire, you more have an idea of the area all within your view. In this particular black leather book with no markings, with the exception of a small silver pentagram that's embossed discreetly in the bottom right corner of the cover, you know this is what you want. This book here has the information you want on the demons, on multiple different things you know. This Liber Daemonium is what you've been looking for. Does Shaun want it?
Yes.
Enough to like willingly start fucking around is what I mean. Obviously he wants it, but I'm asking like, does Shaun, I'd say no words come to your mind, but you feel like you could get it. You don't, there's this feeling that you could absolutely get it. You just don't understand how, but you have that feeling of don't fucking worry about how. It's very similar to when you were dealing with the surgery and the poison, that feeling of, oh, I know this, I just don't know I know it.
I think in Shaun's mind, he is focusing extremely hard on that book. He can feel himself just kind of being consumed and warmed in this fire that he's just kind of sitting in very comfortably and peering out at this ridiculously opulent library. And then he's got this laser focus on that one book. He spends a very long time focusing on it. He almost kind of like wills it to come to him, like it's like he's trying to force pull it. He's trying to lock into that. And like just before he's like, oh yeah, I can take that book easy. There is the tiny voice in the back of his mind that this sounds like, because it is something he wants, there's probably a deal involved.
That's what you think. So would you like to roll to see if you give in, or is like, are you saying you know Shaun would say no?
Not. I at this point, Shaun kind of pulls back and just says no to himself for once.
Do you wish to keep lingering within the fire?
Yeah, he's going to stay there for a little bit. And just observe, testing out his new power a little bit as well, I think.
Okay. Is there something, what are you trying to test? Like, is there something Shaun is doing in particular to test it?
You said there was, when you said it was someone of particular influence, is there a person in the room, or is it just,
you want to look, so more details is what you want?
That is what he will be looking for.
So because your messy critical kind of like hyper focused you. But now I will need first an intelligence blood magic test again, blood sorcery.
Ooh, okay. 3 for this one.
Then you can only reroll one of those. I will say, there's as you're like able to pull away your attention, you're like, okay, hang on. Where am I? Whose room is this? The moment you do so, an almost a flare up of the fire itself, so intense and so bright that even you can't resist it, sends you hurtling back to your body, where you find yourself back on the couch, almost snapping your eyes open. And I wouldn't say you're catching your breath, but if you were mortal, you might have been catching your breath.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 successes, though you failed, you understand that the protections are more than just one. And it was likely another rune going off because each round is about 3 seconds. So you were probably in that fire for a total of 6 seconds at most, where you were hyper focused on the book before you were kicked back out.
That's fair. Oh, yeah.
You can still sense the fires. It doesn't end your power. You can still sense all the fires. And if you wanted to make another attempt to get back in there, you could. You just need to make me another intelligence blood sorcery roll.
I think at this point, he's starting to feel like this is an extraneous risk for the first visit to the Chantry. But that just means that he's going to
fair enough
feel a bit more satisfied with what he's got as opposed to trying things. I think he is just going to continually sense the fires around him and see if he can see which ones he can and can't project his senses into, just to kind of get a sense of the place. But
what you learn is that one of the things that probably maybe it would drive most people nuts is how many little lighters you can just feel flicking on and off, and just the constant heat around you in that regard. What you realize is it's you can't seemingly push your senses into the lighter like a small flame, but you again, you'd have to make tests. But what I'm going to say is most flames you can project your senses into. It's just what would be considered a minuscule flame is where one is a little too small for you to get your senses into.
Yeah, and there's a weirdly hot part of an AC unit, which why would I want to?
Yeah, that'd be a weird place to just go hang out for a little while with your senses and shit. So for the rest of him lying there, is he genuinely fuck it, I'm not gonna bother, I'm self-control, not gonna try?
Yeah, he's also feeling quite satisfied. He's successfully used a power. He's learned something that he now wants. And I think his plan is to just kind of wait. And when he's trying to figure out how to ask Mia/Duke for them to get him that book without making it seem like he's done something stupid and giving
and you
away
also have no idea how to get to that room and whose room it is. Exactly. Yeah. And maybe as you're thinking that, you actually just over behind you, standing behind you, you just hear the voice. That's never going to happen, you idiot. You don't even know what fucking room you were in.
That's actually okay right now. Why are you even that excited about me going places, breaking into places?
He just kind of
do you hate the Tremere that much?
Gives a breathy chuckle and he walks around from behind you over to your side. You have phenomenal gifts. You are terrified of them. Instead of using them
No, I feel like I'm the only person that isn't terrified of them. I am eager to use them. I'm not eager to just magically get into a place that I'm not prepared to be in.
So instead, you're going to be a coward and ask somebody else to do it for you. So if they get caught, you're okay, but they get in trouble.
For a moment, I thought we could be friends. I thought I could deal with you being in my head, because you were actually quite nice last time we talked. And I appreciate you, and I am just as ambitious as you. But it seems like you want me to be stupid.
You frustrate me, kid. You have potential, and you allow yourself to squander it.
Breaking and entering is not potential.
Breaking and entering is child's play. Plucking one of the most powerful objects within a Tremere's collection simply because you want to and them never knowing? That's power. Or you can send Max or Mia to go do it, risk them getting caught, and then maybe you won't get the book, and he shakes his head and lets that thought linger. You have potential. The ability to command things kindred wish they could. Because, Vera's watching you? Mia might be concerned about you. You're worried that you might push yourself too far.
All right. Tell me.
Tell you what?
You clearly have a plan. What is it? What's this amazing, intelligent plan to get into and out of a magical fortress?
Well, you've already...
If you're so fucking smart and you're the teacher in this situation, then teach.
Well, since you squandered the first one, you're going to need to move your senses back in there. Think you can do it, champ. And as he pats you on the shoulder and you feel him, he vanishes. You can smell smoke in the air again. Shaun, obviously, we see the camera lingers. We're on a complete down from the ceiling down shot on Shaun, and it's a slow zoom out, and we're watching Shaun just mentally fight with himself, not with his voice, but with himself. Does he do it? Essentially, I imagine Shaun in some ways giving in, or does he hold back? Both have their merits, and they both seem viable, I imagine. As the camera's pulling out, what are Shaun's specific thoughts right now? What is he struggling with?
I think in this moment, he's thinking, I know I'm in control of projecting my senses. That part he's confident about. Anything past that is someone else's ability, power, doing something else that he doesn't know what it is. And like, that's where he starts to get uncomfortable. It's not even an issue of like, oh, is it bad to break into the Tremere place? Or like, even at this point, ooh, would it get Mia or Duke in trouble? It's just, he doesn't see it. So he doesn't believe it at this point. So he does continue to feel the fireplace. But at this point, he gives up on projecting his senses into it, because at this point he's starting to think about maybe seeing if he can goad father. Like, what happens if he disobeys?
And that's, you sit there and you think about that for minutes on end. And as you are hoping, or not hoping, but you're waiting, expecting some sort of punishment, maybe to your own surprise, as nothing happens, the door opens. You see Max step out, Robert, and then after a few extra moments, Mia, as she's seemingly saying goodbye to somebody. As they step out, Mia's like, hey, let's go. We're out of here.
Everything go well?
Yeah, I think so. And she looks up to Max and Robert, and they both kind of nod, but we leave that vague for next episode while we get to see what exactly happened in there. But as we watch Shaun walk away, as you walk out, we have a nice profile shot of your upper half of your body, and you're walking out, probably the last one to leave, looking over your shoulder. You don't see him there. You don't feel anything. You don't hear a voice. You don't smell smoke. And as you step out onto the street again, relief, as truly, and I mean this honestly, no punishment for disobeying. As we watch him step by on that profile shot, just as your profile shot completely like pans across the camera, standing in the window on the other side, we simply see Father watching Shaun as he goes. Shaun obviously didn't notice. And as Shaun leaves and we get a moment where Father watches, everything cuts to hard black. And we'll be back next time. Thank you all so much, as Shaun resisted temptation for reasons that I debated. Once you gave me your reason, I stopped debating.
Okay.
But we'll talk about it later. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll chat with it. We're going to do, I don't know if we'll do an after show for this one because it's a solo, but we'll do one for this plus the other one probably next week.
Awesome.
But thank you guys so much for listening. Patreon.com/podbynight. We appreciate it. We love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.